Studios 82 here. It is time for another G.I. Joe toy review. And today we're going to be looking at the 1983 APC, or the it's anti-something, right? The amphibious personnel carrier. This is a toy that I do have fond memories of playing with as a kid with my old buddy John. I used to aggravate him when I called it the anti-personnel carrier. It's amphibious, and then I would call it armored. It would get under his skin if I've mispronounced things. Like the snow serpent, I used to call him the cobra polar. And he said, "Oh, next you're going to be calling him the polar bear." So, oh, that's funny. A little Freudian slip just brought back those memories. But yes, it's the 1983 amphibious personnel carrier. The vehicle that doubled as a carrying case. And why? Well, we'll find out when we get into the review further. So let's go ahead and go over the details on this off of yojo.com. It was first released boxed in U.S. toy stores in '83, and it was on the shelves until '85 when it was discontinued, but it remained with Hasbro Direct from '84 until 1990. That is a long time, so that it goes to show you just how many of these they had produced. And it was Hasbro Direct while it was still on the shelves, which is kind of interesting as well. It made its first Marvel comic appearance in issue number 14. So I'll pull these pictures up for you here in a second. And it was the same design was redone in 1989 as the Night Force Night Scrambler. And see, Night Force was something, just a side note here, was something that I really didn't know about till I started getting serious into G.I. Joe again. Had I known about these, I would have gotten them back in the 80s when they were still a Toys R Us exclusive. So I think it's a very cool sub-team, but unfortunately on today's aftermarket it fetches a very high price. And I also learned something new, that there was another one called the Apc Cuda, or Cuda, that came out in 1992. The driver was Cutter. This was for the ill-fated DEF line, which was discontinued and absorbed into Battle Corps. DEF did carry on in other countries such as Australia, but why did they discontinue it here in the United States? There were still a lot of anti-drug PSAs out there, and it was still a hot topic in school when I was a kid, and I'm sure it still is. But I don't have much information right now as to why they discontinued the line. But back to the APC, the original retail price is $8.99, which that was a decent amount of money for the time when minimum wage was, I think, $3.75 at that time. So yeah, this would have cost you a couple hours worth of work, but you know, as a kid, you know, that was a day's work for me, doing yard work to purchase something like this. So anyway, let me pull up those pictures for you, and let's take a look at the box art. The 1992 APC and Cutter, as well as the Night Force vehicle. Alrighty, so there's a fly in the room. You see that the Night Force looks really, really nice, and the 1992 vehicle I didn't even know about, so that could have been released in Europe. Something like that I would have remembered, uh, especially during that time I was actively buying G.I. Joe, or in Australia, I should say. But my childhood memories of this vehicle, this was one that did get a lot of playtime with us. We didn't take it in the water. Well, I only live in the desert, right? There aren't many standing bodies of water. But in the commercial, it did advertise that it could go into the water. And it sort of doubled as a boat in some ways. But John and I, yeah, we used to carry our action, well, most of the action figures were his. The ones I had fit in my pocket. If we were to take these out to our fort in the desert, which was just a giant hole that we dug and covered it with wood planks, we would just pack his Joes up in that and carry it out there with us. So, yeah, we had a lot of really cool adventures out there. You know, we dig holes in the walls and make jail cells. You'd put sticks up in there. We would have a road that would circle around and go like it was going down into a canyon. You know, things like that. I mean, it's dirt, you know, so you could sculpt it and mold it. We made buildings out of dirt clods and things. It was really fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. Did I mention we had fun doing that? But this on the aftermarket, since it was amphibious, some of them do show up with rusty screws, as people, you know, taking and playing with them in the water or leaving them outside in the dew and rain, you know, gets to it. So if you want something pristine, look for screws being rusty. Other than that, I mean, if it's plastic, it's pretty durable. So let's go ahead and take a look at this vehicle. I've been, like most things, really anxious to do it. You know, that's what you get when you have so many things. And what could I review next? So this one I actually have on display out in the living room, and I was walking by last night and said, you know what, I'm going to grab this. I was going to review yesterday, but having worked all night and on only like 3 hours sleep, I slept all day Friday, and I hate doing that because it's a day gone. You know, it's a 3-day weekend for me, and now I only have 2 days. But anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this toy. It is fantastic. I really enjoy having this as a part of my collection. So let's take a look at it. All right, so there is quite a bit to see on this vehicle. First off, let's go ahead and take a look at the front cover here. So to remove the back, you have to squeeze these panels together, as you can see. But the front here, it removes. See that it has a pretty nice window on the front. This looks like it would be an access hatch of some sort, and motors for the windshield wipers, quite possibly, and the underside is pretty bland. On the inside cabin, has 2 seats for the driver and passenger. The steering wheel sometimes comes up missing. You could either sit the figures down on these toilet seat looking things and use the foot peg, or you could stand them up. We just piled them all in there. We didn't care about how it looked, unless you want to display everything, and then of course you want to stand them up. But another commonly missing piece is this lap bar right here. I only have one, and I'm not too upset about that. We'll find out just how much those go for in Byron's gripes. But if you could see inside here, there's more sculpting and detailing, foot pegs, which I didn't know, by the seats for the driver and passenger. So they really did a good job with the foot pegs on this. It is a 6-wheel vehicle. This is supposed to be a door for I guess like an escape or an emergency hatch. And they really added a lot of detail inside the wheel wells there. Very, very nice. And it is the same on this side. You see all the detail in there. Each wheel, or the wheels I should say, are on a barbell, or on a metal peg, or rod, I should say, that even better, a metal rod for the wheels to rotate together. A lot of detail on the bottom, and these screws are in very good shape. They're nice and clean. This released Hasbro, 1983, Independence, Rhode Island. The patent was pending at that time. Nice little Hasbro stamp right here. In the back, the bumper. I'll take a look at the back side here. All the different stickers. You see it has like an oil can, a mallet, and a wrench. But the back bumper pulls out to use it as a handle to carry your action figures in. And looking at the canopy, it's done up in this tan camouflage, which was very good for the desert. The top rotating gun here is often missing, so that's something to look out for. It's done up with this canvas pattern, very nice. And the bottom, again, is fairly bland. But on the 1992 version, this is completely green, which is that is fitting as well. So to put this back together, you want to put the front cover on. There's some clips on the front here. Be careful with those. Those could snap off fairly easy. And go ahead and pop it on. Squeeze the sides in. And be careful of the tabs on there as well. But this came with the blueprints, which I had completely forgotten about. So the gun on the top is a 50mm single-fire auto-control cannon, shell-proof tinted butyrate portholes, Okay, off-road flotation tires on modular alloy rims. Engine air intake, which is number 4, would be right here on the front. Number 13. It's so cool that they have these blueprints that explain everything. Like right here, that's number 13. That is an air purifier. I'm not going to go over all of it, but number 16 is a watertight hull entrance and exit hatch. And it shows you, just tearing everything up, shows you how to put the vehicle or the action figures in. Looks like this is short fuse, scarlet, and flash. They have breaker right here. Pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, I forgot all about having the blueprints with this. Because when I took it out of the box, I just put it right on the shelf after making sure everything was intact. So there you have it, guys, the APC. So, when this hit the market, it was when G.I. Joe was really starting to take off and starting to get hot. So, I'd say by 85, 86, it was white hot and just kept on getting better until it started tapering off in the 90s. At least for people who started from the beginning. But the 90s kids, that was their G.I. Joe, and they absolutely love them, which I don't blame them. There's some really good ones that came out in the 90s. But this was 2 toys in one. You have a carrying case, and you also have a vehicle. And it holds up to 13, I'm wanting to say. So let's pull that back up on Yo Joe to double check. But that would make sense, seeing that there was the original, or what's known as the Green 13, all the green shirts, 2 long seat belts, a steering wheel are missing, yeah, of course. It really doesn't exactly say on Yo Joe. So let me pause this and do a little more research real quick. Boy, was I wrong. The center aisle holds 10 standing up. The front is 2. And the seats, so it comes out to around 28 figures. So gave you incentive to buy more and more of these. So it's a very versatile toy. Still, it's bloody fly. It's a very common vehicle to find out there on the aftermarket. And well, let's just see what the prices, what they're going for. So this is not rare by any means. This, it was available for 2 years on the shelves, and then from on Hasbro Direct for quite a few years longer, another 6. So that was 8 years that this was available. So for all of those of you just joining, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. If you could do me a favor, hit that subscribe button so you qualify for some giveaways. I'll be holding my next one at 700. And if you so choose to, hit the bell as well so you're notified every time I upload a video. I really appreciate everybody that has subscribed and that are helping this channel grow. It really makes me feel good. It does, especially when I reached that 500 mark and I was able to hold that giveaway, and that was a huge goal for me. So very happy about that. But for those of you who just happen to stumble across this channel, like I said, welcome. I do this segment, Byron's Gripes, as a form of entertainment. I don't do it to pick on eBay or the sellers. I use eBay only for a reference point. There are several other sites out there that sell vintage toys. I do suggest that you hit up your local vintage toy and comic book shop. Support your local business first. But this fly is so distracting. What was I saying? So yeah, I use eBay just for a reference point. I don't do it to pick on them or the sellers. It's a fantastic site. eBay has really opened the world up for us to purchase things, and it has been a double-edged sword sometimes because it has lowered the price on things that were considered a little more rare because you can only find them locally. I don't want to get into all that, to making things more valuable, such as vintage collectibles. So it has a double-edged sword, but I do poke at the prices quite a bit. That's how it ended up becoming Byron's Gripes. I did this just as an educational thing, and then I started getting me frustrated with these prices, especially with people charging so much in shipping. So anyway, just pulled this up. So I seldom quote auction prices. So here we go. The front windshield, the Canopy, I'll call it, $12.99 or better offer. The top gun, the main gun at the top, $20. The Canopy, $14. Complete, but it says must read, so I'm not going to get into that and read it. So seeing that it's so low, I'm sure there's some damage to it. Complete, $34.99. That comes with here's another one, $44.99. So far these are pretty decent prices, so those guys go with deal of the day. Another Canopy with no gun, $14.99. The bottom section, the transport, or whatever you want to call it, the chassis, as this guy has it listed, $11.99. So this is one you could build on a somewhat decent budget. It's the lap bar that's going to cost you. But he's wanting $15 in shipping, and there's no way that this is going to be $15 in shipping. Here's one that is 100%, $89.99. Yeah, the lap bar does bring up the price, but come on, man, $89.99. I think not. Here's one that's almost complete. It's missing the guns and the lap bar, $38.99. No. But again, as I had aforementioned, it's a build a budget. The gun, $20. Steering wheel, $16.25. The blueprints, $7, $5.95 in shipping. You could stick that in a legal size envelope and ship it and mail it for the price of postage. 2 stamps maybe, if that. Here's another one. Good. I'll put this up with deal of the day. Very good deal on that. $4.50 and 60 cents. So that guy's going to put it in an envelope and mail it to you. Here's one that comes with an that's incomplete. It's missing the gun. Comes with an incomplete MMS and a the HAL, or not the HAL, but the flak. $40 for all that. Another one missing the gun, $49.95. Steering wheel, $699, $995. Oh, here is gouging at its best. The chassis, $699, but $13.90 in shipping. You know, why charge so much for shipping? Just list your asking price, and you know, it just baffles me. Here's another one, $9.99 with $17.20 in shipping. This is a sad trend that's really picking up. Yeah, couple $2-3 to make, you know, a little bit more profit, or to cover additional postage just in case it's needed. I get that, but you know, selling it low then charging exuberant rates for shipping, that is really frustrating. Okay, here's the lap bar, $19.99. So that's obviously a highly sought after piece. The box only $89.99 plus $17.50, so it's going to have to be shipped in a bigger box. So $17.50. That seems a little high to me still, but I'm not too up to speed on the larger boxes for shipping. Steering wheel, I'll put this a deal of the day, $5.99. Another one, $18.99, incomplete with $21.20 in shipping. The steering wheel, $9.50. Here's one that's incomplete. It's missing the canopy, the gun, and the lap bars. $18, $17.46 in shipping. $9.99 for the blueprints. $9.99 or better offer for the steering wheel. $14.99 for the canopy. Here's one complete, $9.99 or $99.99, almost $100. I think not. Here's one for Palatoy from the UK. This is Z-Force, so the colors are going to be a bit different. $184 for that. So let me show you what that looks like. They do the colors a little brighter green over there, which is pretty cool. $184.99. So I'll say I'll put that with deal of the day. Here's one complete with a straight arm breaker, $100 or better offer. Here's another one, near complete, missing one of the lap bar, or both lap bars, $78. Okay, here's my case in point with the Night Scrambler, the Night Force Night Scrambler. $600. It's a Toys R Us exclusive, and anytime you mention exclusive, that drives the price up. So there were several of these, several pages. I got 189 results. So that's going to show you that it is not rare. Here's another one, Palatoy, $279. The rear bumper, $9.99. Here's a box. Near complete with box. I'm going to put this up with deal of the day, $171. Here's another one, complete with box, $167. That's deal of the day. So, you know, there are several pages of this, and I won't take up your time with all of those. But if you don't already have this, definitely look into getting it. I don't think there isn't a G.I. Joe toy that I will not recommend. I recall some that I'm like, you know, It's up to you if you want to get this one or not. There are some I just simply don't like. But this one has a lot of very nice memories for me from my childhood, as do all of these things for us, right? Let's just face it. Very cool vehicle. It displays well, looks great in dioramas. You know, it's multifunctional. You know, carrying case. If you lack room, and this is something I've started doing, is putting things up on the walls. I put stuff in bags and hang it up on the wall. But this one, you could hang from your wall with the wheels facing the wall, and it still displays pretty well. So if you're lacking in space, like I am, displaying it on the wall is nice. It's made out of a harder plastic, so this is only going to get more frail with time. But great vehicle. I enjoy having this, as I had said. I can't say really enough good about it. Pardon me, hiccups. So anyway, you guys take care. Stay safe out there. Remember, safety, sanitize 6 feet. Talk to your doctors about getting yourself and your family vaccinated if that is something you choose to do. Things are easing up for us. So those of you who are really affected by this pandemic, it has hit the hardest. I do wish you guys the very best, and wish and hope that you could find gainful employment. There are a lot of jobs that are opening back up, so even temporarily find work in a restaurant. I know the restaurants around here are really hurting for help, because that was the industry that was really hit hard. It was the food service industry. We have a few restaurants around here that have been open since this town was founded. In the 60s, Denny's, that was almost a historical location because it is a part of the historical Route 66, closed. And that was kind of sad seeing that closed. It's done up in an older style. They tried to keep it looking as it did back in the day. So anyway, I do wish you all the very best. Stay safe out there. Remember, be kind to everybody, especially be kind to animals. They know nothing but unconditional love. So give your family pet a nice big hug. Get them a treat. Let them know how much you appreciate them, because I know they certainly appreciate you guys. So you guys take care. We'll see you next week for another G.I. Joe toy review. Again, thank you for helping me reach that goal. I am still buzzing over it. So anyway, you guys take care. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.